Tides and waves are movements in the oceans that have significant impacts on the Earth's shape and ties to the alignment of the solar system. There are two types of tides that we are going to talk about today: spring tides and neap tides. Spring tides are tides that occur when the sun, moon, and earth are aligned, which creates a stronger gravitational pull on the ocean. During spring tides, high tides and low tides are higher and lower respectively, and it is called spring tide because the water springs back higher than normal. This contrasts with what we call neap tides, which happen during the first and third quarters of the moon cycle. Geographical and human influence is important when looking at shorelines. For geographical influences, on rich sediment coasts, longshore currents move sand along the shore through littoral drifts, which develop spit of sands which can then develop new land. It can also remove sediments from upcurrent and aren't necessarily parallel. On the other hand, rocky features that jut out on the shoreline can cause wave refractions, where the energy of the wave is behind the tip of land.
Human influence is important because having vegetation and adding structures on shorelines can change how the water and tides interact with them, leaving an impact on the way the shorelines are shaped and formed. Adding structures prevents erosion of the shoreline and helps disperse the energy and force of the waves. Having vegetation and planting it can also help and does those things, but in addition to that, it can help the habitat for the creatures living there. The different types of tides can also play a part in the Earth's shorelines and coastal regions. Because spring tides can have a very wide range, they can lead to increased flooding or erosion during high tides and even more exposure of the coasts during low tides. There are a few different types of shorelines like cliff dune areas, backshores, and foreshores, as seen in the demonstration. The foreshore is always experiencing waves during the tidal cycle, while the backshore is flatter and further away from the ocean, with waves only modifying the backshore during high tides. Cliff dune areas are part of the shoreline, but are at a higher elevation and are modified during storm surges.
You can see in this demo how different types of tides affect these three areas of the shoreline.